and how he's going there. Teresa hasn't heard it. That's good. We have a couple people that have not heard it. So I'm going to start at a different place than where I started last time. I'm going to start with our good friend, Mr. William. So, in all of the papers, I saw where there was paperwork for Mountain View Cemetery down in Pasadena. And William said, Dan, but Jim wants to be buried next to Wanda in Arkansas. I'm sure of it. He told me several times that's where he wanted to be buried. So I said, okay. So we called the relatives back in Arkansas. I called Linda Staggs, and William called everyone else to let them know that Jim had passed. And I also had talked to William, and I said, well, William, do we need to fly back there to take Jim's remains back? And William assured me that we absolutely did not need to go back. Everything would be fine if we just sent Jim back there on his own. Yep, that's what William said. So I call Linda Staggs back the second Sunday in a row to say, as a matter of fact, I do need a favor. I need to try to figure out how to bury Jim next to Wanda. So Linda Staggs said, well, honey, of course I'll help you, no problem at all, but I don't know exactly how to do it. So why don't you talk to Kenny Fance? Kenny Fance is our pastor, and he'll be able to help you out. So I hang up the phone, and I call Kenny Fance immediately. And Kenny answers the phone. Hello, this is Kenny. And I said, Kenny, I'm Dan Duncan, Jim Duncan's nephew. Jim was married to Wanda Kaufman Duncan. Wanda is buried in her mom's grave with her headstone right next to him. And what we want to do is bury Jim right next to Wanda. And so Kenny said, well, I know she's up there, but I'm not sure exactly where she's at. You know, we don't charge to bury anybody, but if you want to donate to the church, you can do that. You know what? If you call Judy Hall, Judy, she's the one that does the mowing up at the cemetery. She knows where everyone is. She'll be the last person you need to call. She'll be able to help you out with this. So I hang up and I'm all excited. Okay, this is going to be the last call. So I call Judy Hogg. And I have to go through the full explanation, of course, of who I am again, right? So Judy says, well, isn't that funny? I had no idea that Linda and Wanda were cousins. Isn't that funny? I had no idea. So I tried to get her back on track, and I said, well, we really want to get Jim as close as possible to Wanda. Well, you know what, honey, there's no reason, there's plenty of room right next to Wanda. We can just put him right next to Wanda, no problem at all. And I said, okay, well, do you know how I go about, like, doing the rest of it? Well, I have no idea. You know what, when Jim and William came back to bury Wanda, well, her brother Dave is the one that helped organize it. So if you call Dave, he'll be able to help you out. So I hang up the phone and I call Dave.
And that's very good.
This is the fourth phone call right in a row. So I go through the explanation of who I am again.
Pour another glass of wine.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dave says, well, if Judy Hogg says that you can bury him right next to Wanda, then that won't be a problem whatsoever. But, you know, I help, but I don't really understand why Linda and John don't help you out with this. And I said to Dave, I said, well, Dave, do you know the actual burial? Like, is there a mortuary or somebody I can contact so that we can bury him in the ground. And he said, well, that just takes a post hole digger. You don't have to worry about that. So I hang up. That was my Sunday of 4 phone calls. And I felt like I was still in a circle, not quite getting things ironed out to be able to do this. So then the following Friday, which was the Friday after Thanksgiving, I get a phone call from Antelope Valley Cremation. And they're like, yeah, we usually don't hold on to the remains very long, and we really need an address so that we can ship Jim off. So I knew the pressure was on, so I called my good friend William, and I said, okay, William, between Dave and Linda and John, tell me who would be the best to be able to help figure this out. So William said, well, actually, Linda and John are a little bit younger and probably a little bit healthier, so they should be the ones to be able to help you out. So I called Linda back and explained to her the whole circle that I had gone through to people the Sunday before. And she said, well, honey, absolutely. If Linda Hogg says you can put him there, that's no problem. We'll just do it. Of course we'll help you out. No problem. And she said, well, you know what? Because I told her that we wanted Jim next to Wanda. And she said, well, you know what? We'll just go right below where Wanda is, and we'll just dig a hole right there, right below Wanda, and we'll put Jim right there, and then we'll put his headstone over on the other side of Wanda's. So I kind of wanted to say, you know, don't dig too deep. This is going on top of Mama. So, okay, I was making progress. I felt really good about it. And then I said, now, if you let me know what day you're going to do this, I'll order flowers so that there will be flowers at the gravesite. And she said, well, honey, you don't have to worry about that. You just call Raven's Flowers in De Queens, and you just order something up, and I'm going into town on Friday. And they're going to be artificial flowers anyway. So I'll just take them home with me, and I'll just hold on to them until we decide to bury him. Now there was one piece that I left out, and that's back when I was talking to Dave, and he was talking about the figure. The other thing he explained to me, and William confirmed this was true, is that after Dave dug the hole for Wanda, they just took the entire package and placed it. Package and all, she went down in the ground. There was no
help preserve it.
Yes. So
no sense unwrapping
Oh my God.
Our good friend Jim is now en route back to Little Hope or New Hope, Arkansas. For his venture, but I know it matches right up to what he would want.
I would say the good person, yeah, just every totally.
Because it's a deal, it's a bargain.
No sense hiring a
It's a
backhoe.
bargain.
Yeah, you got a post
It's a
digger.
bargain.
Just get a post digger out and take care of it.
I asked Linda, I said, well, Linda, I have no idea what would be the appropriate amount to donate to the church. Well, honey, we don't charge to bury people here, but yeah, you can donate. And I said, okay, well, I have no idea what's appropriate, like 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. Oh, honey, that's way too much. $200 to $300 would do it. So I knew from there, I kind of wonder, does Jim really want to be next to Wanda, or did he like that